Okay, let's get ready to take this apron off. Before I start that, I got a few candidates for the evapor rust. I got a bunch of these, all different sizes. This is 18 30-seconds. Some kind of hole gauge, 72 30-seconds. These are 1/4 inch. This big nut. And I got these locking collars. And I'm not sure what to call these. Bushings, maybe. Figure I got a couple electric motors, and maybe we'll make a shaft to fit those and do something with those one day. So we're going to get those in the evapor rust. We'll bring you back when that's all done. Okay, so let's get on with the removal of this collar. Get this stuff out of the way. We'll start with getting rid of the tool post. This top one is a nut I made, and the post comes right out with it. Got a little oil underneath there. Oil's fine. I don't mind oil under there at all. And that'll go back there. And we'll wipe this top off. This is the block I made to replace my compound. Let's see, I think this will... My clearance hole needs to be a little larger on that one. I'm a little tight on the walls. And once we get everything loosened up, turn, there we go. We'll set that off to the side. Give this just a little wipe down. Okay, now for the apron. Normally you would have to take this off. You would have to take this bracket off here and slide this thing off this lead screw. Since I don't have to do that, it's kind of an example of why this thing is not assembled correctly. Give adjustment screw is kind of in the way here on this side. So I'm able to normally, right here we go, I can just wiggle that thing out. Now Now I think the way this is supposed to go is this piece here. I don't ever remember taking that off, but I believe this piece is upside down. Either this is upside down or this is upside down. And I want to think it's going to be this. I just don't ever remember taking that off. But obviously this is supposed to capture the lead screw, and there's no way that's going to happen the way it is. So something's got to give, and considering that the lead screw is probably riding up in here somewhere, because I can't engage it, this has got to be mounted upside down. So I'm not going to put you through that. Let me bring you back. I'll get that off. Rearranged. Okay, I got that reversed now, and the more I look at this and think about the other images that I've seen, all the other ones had two pieces like this, all the images that I've seen, and this looks like it could control two pieces. There's down, that would bring two pieces together. So this is, I don't really want my lead screw rubbing against that, I don't think. So I'm wondering, why I don't have that other piece and where I might locate one at. So my other issue is the thread dial. Okay, the thread dial mounts in this hole here with this screw, and then you adjust it till this hits the this comes up and engages the bottom of the lead screw. Now inside this hole, there's a grub screw. Okay. Now it seems that I'm not able to get that in deep enough to allow the threads on the thread screw to get that thread screw to go in all the way. So that grub screw engages the half nut mechanism there. So if I tighten it up, I'm not moving the half nut. Now it's possible we got the wrong screw in there at one time. So let's look into that. There's another screw here that engages, I don't know what. But it is even longer than the grub screw that goes in here, so actually this is for the detent on the half nut lever. So I don't even think that's the same size. I don't believe it's going to solve any problems, because that came out of here. If I put this one here, it leaves this one here, and it's even longer than the grub screw was. So I'm still going to have an issue getting my threading dial on. Yeah, that doesn't work at all. So we'll reverse that back to the way it was. The only thing I'm thinking is if I'm not engaging something in here, I think I'm just going to have to just live with the mystery and use a tell you what we're going to do. We're going to lose this. We're just going to lose this grub screw. And we're going to put the thread dial on. So thread dial is back on. That's adjusted here to line up with the bottom of the half nut. So I'm going to have to undo this end of my lead screw to slide this back on. And then we'll engage it with the carriage. So I think this will do this one. I'm trying to think, is this guard going to be a problem now? Okay. Okay, let me bring my carriage down. Okay, I'm going to have to what I need to do is loosen up my carriage so I can bring that up. Once you get that on there, it's almost impossible to access those nuts. Let me see what I can do. Okay, what I had to do was bring the carriage all the way down here to the end, assemble everything, and then bring it forward. And other than my front to back adjustments, I think I can live with that. So, I need to get this back on here. That is the lead screw now is captured between the half nut and that guide. So I do feel a little better about that. I pulled that grub screw out. I'm almost wondering if that is not for the detent with the other one on top of it. I'll have to do some adjusting there. Let me get this thing engaged. That actually feels much better than it was before. It actually feels right. I need to reassemble my carriage lock, which needs to be cleaned, which basically is goes in here. Bolts to the carriage, but we need to get rid of some of the crap on there. I don't want to disturb the relationship between the screw and this bottom plate, because it's a little trial and error putting it together, taking it apart until you got it right. This magnet out of here. So what I do is I have these two plates here. Maybe this one will work doubled up. clip this up into place. That's cross-threaded, and there we go. This is really the only screw holding this. This other one has been wallered out and changed from metric to imperial. I can get it. That's really not doing anything at all. Let me pull these plates out of here and go ahead and test that. Okay, so did we put it back together with the compound, or did we put it back together the way it was? I'm thinking the compound because I'm curious as to whether I can make an MT3 taper. I think I was probably, in my ignorance, I was able to make the MT2 tapers, and with the travel of the compound determines the length of the taper that you can make. Now here's one of my MT2 tapers. That one's in aluminum. And here's my one in steel. I turned it into a end mill holder because I forget what I was going to put in there before. I think I was going to put a 1/4-20 tap in that. Over drilled the hole, so I went ahead and drilled it out some more. So I'm thinking if I can make an M3 taper and affix a faceplate to it, I can use it, pull the chuck off and mount that faceplate on the MT3 taper and turn on center. I've been doing this turning on centers without a dog and without really realizing that, to put the amount of pressure on there to be able to spin that and engage a tool on it, I'm more than likely deforming the part in that process. So let's go ahead, let me gather up what I need to get this compound back on. We'll bring you right back. Okay, that whole transformation from rigidity block to compound is not a lengthy operation. We'll get that on 0. Or near enough to 0. And then it's just getting this gib mounted in here. I did drill these holes out a little bit in the gib. Seems to help me with adjustment a little bit. I'm probably going to have to back those off a little bit because I did have that set pretty tight. I have a wrench. I should have a wrench for these hanging right here. Because all my lathe tools are right here on the wall.